Now, as
This call is being recorded.
we often do, let yourself move out through your third eye center, in the middle of your forehead. So just have your consciousness be in your forehead and see the third eye as you're looking out through it, almost as if you were looking out from through a window. You go out through that window or that door or that third eye. Send your consciousness out into the room, wherever you find yourself. And then as an exercise of feeling like you are out of your body, turn around and see your physical body sitting or laying there. So that you get the sense of being outside of the body. Then as you begin to float up in the room, see your body falling down below you as you move up. As you move up into the pillar of light. There's a pillar of light wherever you are. Go up in the pillar of light now, higher and higher up. And as you continue to go up, look down and see your physical body falling way down below as you continue to go up. Further and further and further down. You can barely see your physical body as you continue to move up past the Earth's atmosphere. And once you move up past the Earth's atmosphere, you then become aware of all of the ships that are out here, all of the cloaked ships. But they are not cloaked to you now. You can see them at this level, at this vibration, you can see them. You see there are millions and millions of ships. You are not bound by time and space, so you don't only see the ships right there where you are, but you can see them surrounding the entire planet. They are everywhere, sitting, waiting for the right moment, for that signal to be given. Now be aware of another burst of energy coming from the galactic central sun, through our solar sun, throughout all of the ships, this electric blue light shooting through all of the ships, and then the ships now sending the light out into us as a group. As we've all formed together now as a group above the Christ consciousness grid, this grid that surrounds the planet with light and love and the Christ consciousness. And as magnifying glasses, we now magnify these energies coming from the galactic central sun through all of the ships, all of the planets of the solar system. We send this light down into the grid and across and around the entire planet. And then these energies beginning to fall down to the earth as rain, as light, forming a wave of energy as it begins to form on the planet's surface, spreading out as a tsunami of love, of consciousness. This wave spreading out across the entire planet, see it going everywhere. Engulfing everything as it moves across. And as it touches each individual person, see them in that moment begin to shift and change in consciousness. See the light coming over them or in them. If you are able to be in two places at once, or in this case, three places at once, be aware of yourself here on the planet's surface, and also above, and see as we see from our ships, from our vantage point, see all of the lights coming on as this wave of energy, wave of consciousness spreads across the planet, and the lights flicker in each individual being as the light literally comes on in all. This is that moment of the event that you are all foreseeing now, all beginning to understand and know is in the process of happening. As you are visualizing this great event, see all people around the planet now coming together as one. Coming together as a unified light, as love. All are recognized as one. This is the new golden age. Continue to see this as the new golden age. And whatever it would be for you, whatever it would be, how you would experience it. But continue to see the lights coming on for all across the planet. Not only human beings, but animals. The plants themselves, as they flower more, as they turn different colors, colors that you have not yet imagined. Brilliant. The animals themselves, as they come together in a oneness as well. Forgotten are the times of the past where they sought each other out as food, where all come together as one, and there is no longer any need to vanquish another. Even for the human beings here on the planet, the human collective consciousness, where there is no need whatsoever to control another human being or an animal. See this as the perfect world that you've all envisioned, that you even envisioned a long time ago before you even came here to this planet. Allow yourselves now, from wherever you find yourselves, begin to drift back toward that point above the earth. You find yourself there on the surface, find yourself now back above the earth, back looking down at the planet, this beautiful planet, beautiful Gaia. See the birthing process that is going on with her. The light continues to evolve and grow. All of those flickers of light now, see them coming on everywhere, in each individual being. Whereas before some were only simple flickers, now they are becoming flames, violet flames, blue flames, gold flames. Now let yourselves move back down the pillar of light, back down toward your physical body. And as you enter your physical body, feel the sense of oneness that you had, if even for just a moment. Bring that back into your physical form. Come back into your body now, into this vehicle, into a complete state of consciousness and circulation, fully revitalized and refreshed. I am Archangel Michael. I am pleased to be here with you at this time, in this moment, in this flux that is occurring within many of you. Many of you are feeling the energies moving through you. Many of you are feeling the energies all around you. And all of you are beginning to realize that the time is near. The time is now. For we are all in this together. We came here together, and we will leave here together. That is not to say that you will all leave here, this planet, and go back home, because you will have a choice. There is always freedom of choice. This is a free will zone. You will always have a choice as to where you will find yourself, whether it is continuing on here with this planet or moving up into ships, going back to your various homes, what you would call your homes, seeing many long-lost friends, relatives, from many thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, as measured by the sense of time. But as you know, you are moving out of this sense of time. You are moving into a sense of no time. And many of you are finding that seemingly time is speeding up. And that your understanding it is. It is both speeding up and slowing down at the same time. You are all here now in this moment, in these moments, to do what you came here to do. Many of you find yourselves, all of you, find yourselves now in this group. You are not here by happenstance, by accident. As you have learned now, there are no accidents. Everything is being orchestrated. And you are here in this group to train, to learn, to begin to move about your mission. All that you came here to do, you are now here to accomplish. The time is now. You are in the moments before the revealings become more and more to all of you. To those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, you have already been seeing and hearing. But for many out there that do not yet have those eyes and ears, even they are beginning to get an inkling. just a whisper coming into them, telling them that not all is as it appears to be. And they are beginning to awaken. Consciousness is awakening across the planet. And as consciousness continues to awaken, the old paradigm, the old three-dimensional illusion that you have been a part of for so long is crumbling all around you. And it must crumble. It must come down to be replaced by the new understanding, the new love, the new consciousness, and the reawakening of all that is to be, always was, and is now. As I say, you are in the moments prior to this great awakening. When we say moments, you might say weeks and months. But it is yet a relatively short time as you measure time. For all is about to be revealed in many ways and coming from many different directions. Those of you that have been training and working within this group have been working on yourselves. Now is coming the time where you will begin to help to work with others, to help awaken others as you can, as they are ready. And many, many more will continue to awaken and be ready, just as you awakened some time ago. Just as the alarm clock went off for you, so too will it go off for many more. And as they begin to come into their own, begin to remember, they will reach out to you, just as you reached out to us. Because all is a process of symbiosis. And as we say many times, all is being orchestrated. And you, all of you, are a vital part of that orchestration. The full orchestration, full concert, cannot be as beautiful as it can be without the music generated by each one of you. Not one of you can be separated from this. Always know that. You are all a vital part to the whole. I am Archangel Michael. There is much more yet to come in the times ahead, in the times leading up to that next advance of yours, where we will be very much a part of the expression that occurs at that time. And much that does occur at that time will depend on everything that happens prior to it. All of my peace and love be with all of you. I am Archangel Michael, and my blue sword of truth is set upon all of you now, as the truth continues to come forth. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om. Greetings to you.
Greetings.
One who serves here with you to continue this process, continue this connection, this understanding, all of these things that are going on and that you are experiencing, and you are going to continue to experience much as these days and weeks move on here. We are speaking of those things that happen within you, not so much outside of you, although there is much coming in that respect also. But as we say many times, always be in the perfect now. Always be ready to go with the flow and let everything occur in your life that is meant to happen. If you find yourself in what you would call a dead-end job, then maybe it is time to move on. But ask yourself within, go within, and find the answer there. It is always there, but you must ask. So many of you go through your lives and you do it on your own completely because you feel you are in weakness if you reach out for help from others, certainly from help from those in the invisible areas, such as us, your guides, all of us. We are here more than you can possibly imagine with you. But that is not to say that we invade your privacy. We will never do that. You can have whatever experience you are having in your lives and do not be concerned that we are eavesdropping or anything of this nature unless you want us to, unless you ask us to be there. And when you ask, we are there immediately. You may not always find the answer right away. It may not always come to you immediately, but it will come. You can count on that. And that is certainly as you continue on through this transition you are moving through now, and you are all moving through this transition. As you continue to move through this transition, you will experience much, much more. Many more of these various aches and pains and things you have talked about, and knowing, though, that they are not aches and pains coming from illnesses and these kinds of things, but they are aches and pains and sensations, we will say even more so, sensations that you are having because of the changes that are happening within you, the downloads that are coming, your third eye opening, all of these things that are going on, your high heart opening. This is very important. Each one of you is having an experience and will have more so of an experience where your high heart begins to open more. And you may have sensation there. Yes, even maybe some pains in that area. And it may even at times feel like it is the beginnings of a heart attack, but it is not. If it continues on, then get help. But if it is something that is just a sensation and it is temporary, no, that's what it is. Your high hearts are opening wide here. Many of you are experiencing this or will be experiencing this. You have spoken of your fifth chakra and the coughing and this type of thing that is going on in many of you, and this is happening and will continue to happen to more and more of you. It is an expression or a change within your chakra systems that is going on. And it is going on because your very bodies are changing, shifting, changing, becoming more crystalline. We have said, though, that it is not that you can go to a doctor, have your MRI, and they say, oh, you are all crystal now. That will not happen. Your cells will not appear as crystalline to those that do not really have the eyes to see. But those that do will notice. And you will notice and be aware of it within yourselves as it happens. And more and more. Do you have questions here for one who serves now?
Yes, we have a question that came through the email from Magdalena. She says, I had a fall at work, and thereafter my heart has not been in it fully. So I went and had a quiet time, and the answer to my question was, it is time to move to bigger and better work, and the time that I am working there is just extra love and light that I am receiving. And the suggestion is to work in humanitarian work. I look at this and I think to myself, if this is what I should do, then I don't think so if there will be no poverty or lack then. My question is that I was wondering what type of humanitarian work should I dream up to serve the one source if we are to transcend to the fifth dimension?
First of all, certainly there are no shoulds here. So whenever you say, should I do this, should I do that, the answer is no, because do not be focused on that area. That is three-dimensional understanding, three-dimensional illusion, that there are those shoulds in your life. Never think in that way. Everything is happening as it needs to. So if you find yourself in a position, a job, or whatever it might be, a relationship that is not working for you, that does not feel right to you, and you have a sense that it is time to move on, as the James said earlier, if it is time to close the door, as you close that door, a window will open up for you, and you will be able to then move out through that window. But that window will not open. That window to a new opportunity will not open until you are ready to close the door. And that is very difficult for many of you to go through the change process here. But at times, there is a need for change if you feel the calling within you. Okay? Oh, there was one more part to that, where if there is a sense of that there will be no poverty in all of this, then why be concerned about moving into humanitarian efforts and all of this? All of this will take care of itself as you continue to move through this transition. As the monetary or the financial situation improves across the planet, not only for a few, but across the planet as this whole process continues on, then you will find that everything will take care of itself. You will find you will have much more financial wherewithal than you had before, and you will be able to help and assist many more than you did previously to this. And this will be the beginnings of it. This is what the light workers and light warriors are being prepared for. This is why these monies have been talked about. Not to make you rich. That is certainly not the way. That is the old paradigm. It is not to become rich. It is to become rich in spirit and be able to share what you have more and more. To be able to serve the source within you. And when you serve the source within you, you serve all. See? Now, are there other questions here?
I have a question.
Yes?
One who serves, we've been told in the near future there will be no borders or countries on Earth. And I would assume that there would be some kind of Earth Council instead. So what would that look like? How would people be selected for that? Who would do the selecting? And would people from this group be on it?
Wonderful question. We can tell you that in the future, as you are saying, there will be less and less of what you would call borders of countries and states and all of these things that go on, because the barriers will come down more and more. The barriers that separate you one from another, which all began back in the Tower of Babel, if you know that story, when many then began to speak in many different languages. Some of that is fiction, but some of it is also real, that it began to create separation, not only from each other, but from the source itself within you. But that is all going to change and is changing now as you continue through this process. You are moving into a new realm, you might say. A new realm for this understanding here in your three dimension, but an older realm, you might say, to your rememberings that are coming from all that you have been previous to this. All of this is coming back to you. Now, there was a last part of that question, and that was about this particular group, was it not? You were asking?
Yes. I asked what would the Earth Council look like? How would people be selected for it? Who would do the selecting, and would people from this group be on it?
Yes, there will be a change within your government systems. There will be change within your royalty systems throughout the planet, where kings and queens and all of this will become a sense of the past. They will not continue on because that is separation. There will be change within your governments across the planet, here in this country as well as many other countries, where there will not be the haves and the have-nots. There will not be those that are controlling the rest of the people, because that is, again, separation. There will be councils that will be set up, just as there are councils throughout the galaxy, throughout the universe even. There are councils everywhere. And this is the way that it will happen here on this planet, where you will form many different councils. And yes, there will be a galactic council, or rather a world council at some point, that will help to dictate, wrong word here, help to understand what is needed to look at this as a galactic civilization, or this planet as a part of the galactic civilization, a part of the Galactic Federation even. So all of this is in the process as to who will choose it, and all of this, you will choose it. Those of the people will choose. There will not be party system and all of this that is now. There will not be those that will make all the decisions. That will not be. But it will be those who are in position to be able to assist and be a part of the whole. In other words, there will be those who will be, not to use the word elected, because they will not be elected, but they will just come forth, and they will be the ones who will be not in control, but who will be in a position where they can be of greatest assistance. The way we can help you to understand this is the system of Ashtar and Sananda and all the others that are there. They are not in positions of control, but they are in positions of responsibility. So their responsibility and their skill levels and all of this dictate where they will find themselves in relation to any type of hierarchy. You see? It is much different than the ways it is now here. But all of this will be part of the transition. You will not go from the government that you have now into a council, but it will be a gradual changeover here as a part of the entire changeover that is going on. Okay?
Thank you very much, Montserrat.
I wanted to know if people from this group may be included in that.
What we can tell you is, think of the 12 and 12 from Sananda. And if you understand what that is about as much as you can yet at this point, then that will be your answer for that. The 12 of 12. The 12 tables. And the 12 tables within the 12. Okay? Okay. Other questions here?
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, this is Nisha from Canada, and my apologies for my voice. I'm in the process of the heart chakra opening and the throat chakra opening. The question is, am I one of the Blue Ladies projectionists on Earth at this time? And is it through her that I have the connection to the Council of 12?
You did not understand the first part. Are you one of the what there in the first part?
Oh, yeah. So am I a projection of the Blue Lady, Inanna?
Blue Lady Inanna?
Yeah, the blue lady Inanna, Esther. Yeah.
But we can tell you without telling you too much here, because this is something that comes from within, but because you are asking that question, it has already come to you somewhat, and you are simply looking for a confirmation here. And whenever anyone is looking for a confirmation, we always turn it back to you and say, find the confirmation within yourself. You have already been given the indication, and it is like one of those we say many times where you receive whispers within you, or you feel sometimes even shouts that come to you, and you think, oh, that is just my imagination. I am making this up. And we can tell you when you do that, then you are not hearing hearing what is actually coming to you. So in answer to your question, yes.
Thank you so much.
And we can tell you that because you have already received it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, one we serve.
Yes.
I have a question. So you say that the sun rotates around the earth. How is that possible when we have scientific studies that the earth rotates around the sun?
We did not hear the first part of that as well here. What was that first part?
So you say that the sun rotates around the earth. How is that when we have scientific studies that the earth rotates around the sun?
Please, first of all, where did you hear that the sun rotates around the earth? Yes, where did you hear that?
Thank you.
Did we lose you?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure. I was told that you said something around that area, and I was
We do not think we would ever say that, because that would be ridiculous. That is almost as ridiculous as the idea of the earth being flat.
Yeah. I was just making sure.
Certainly the earth rotates around the sun, because there is the central sun here in the solar system. There is a central galactic sun where all the solar systems revolve around the galaxy sun, and then beyond and beyond there are central suns where galaxies, and eventually you get to a universal sun where all of the galaxies rotate around the universal sun. You see, but that is going way, way beyond here. But just understand that it is the microcosm and the macrocosm. And the Earth certainly rotates around the sun, and all of the planets here in the solar system revolve around the sun, and then further and further out. And the galaxy itself, to take this just a bit further here, the galaxy, your galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, is moving through into another area of space entirely. This is why the energies are changing and shifting and will continue to do so. You are going to move into a wonderful energy for many, even 1,000 and more years as you move into this new part of the galaxy. This is why much of this is happening in a timely sense now at this point. It was all foretold long, long time ago.
Okay, thank
even
you.
in a galaxy far, far, far away. No, many of you are saying that.
One who serves, I have a question.
Yes.
Could you please share a little bit of the significance of today, February 18th? It was told on many different places that it could be the first day, age of Aquarius. Could you tell us about what this day signifies for all of us, please?
This day that you are in signifies a great deal because you are on the cusp You are on the part of the beginning, you might say, of the changeover, the full changeover, the moving toward completion, as we have spoken of. Much of it that has occurred up to this point has been the preparation, and somewhat some fulfillments have occurred as well in your year past here. But you are now in this year of completion, where much that has occurred before and has been in the process before this is going to come to completion within this next year, the year you are in now. So this is a major time in the sense of time, your time as you measure it here. And as we measure it here too, because we are here as well. We are in no time and in time also when we need to be. So when we are here with you, we are in your time. You understand?
Yes, I do. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yes. Any further questions here?
Yes, one is there. This
I have
is Lorelai. How are you? So I wanted to ask you regarding this recent school shooting. Was this a cabal thing? And did these individuals actually die as we perceive dying here on the earth? And also, even further, I guess I don't want to say how long is this going to continue, because I know you can't answer that, but how do we be in the matter of this as light workers, especially knowing what we know or what we think we know, some of it? How do we just be with all of this? That's all.
You be with this by just being. You let everything revolve around you. In other words, you are in the eye of a hurricane. Let everything swirl around you. Let everything crumble and come down around you. And you be in the eye. You be in the perfect now. Be aware of what is occurring, but don't become involved in it. Don't become angry. Don't become emotional about it. Mm-hmm. That does not mean if there were those that died in all of this, you can cry for them. That is okay. But do not let it get to you over a period of time. Be in the now. Be in the flow here. Know that everything is being orchestrated. And when this type of thing occurs, as you know, it is what you call a false flag here. And it did happen. It is a process that did occur. But there is much more behind the scenes that you are certainly not being told. Just as there was much behind the scenes of your 9/11 that you were never told, and your Oklahoma City bombing that you were never told, and your Boston bombing, and all of these bombings and all of this that you were never told. But even though there may be these things happening, they are happening for a reason that is not akin to your new golden age. In other words, it is coming from the cabal, their last-ditch efforts, doing what they have always done before that has worked for them before. But it is no longer working, because whenever one of these things occurs, what is the first thing most of you say? That was a false flag. That is not what is really happening. What we are hearing from the news is not the way it really happened. That is what you are saying, are you not? Immediately when you hear these things. And then you turn away. You do not continue to listen to the news very much, do you? You turn away and say, well, that is another one of these false flags. That is another time that the cabal is trying to bring attention or turn attention away from something else that is going on. They are frightened right now. They are running for the hills, you might say, because of the truths that are coming out. They are coming out in a storm. This is the calm right before the storm, people. You are just coming into that point where all of these things are going to begin to be revealed more and more. And all of those people that are out there listening to the news, watching the news, doting on every word that is said, are going to begin more and more to realize that they have been lied to, that this has all these things have been covered up. And as they come to this understanding, the awakening will occur more and more across the planet from this. A great thing happened in some respects when you had that false event happen in your Hawaii and Japan with the missile here. That was intended for another 9/11, a huge 9/11 type of thing. But it was thwarted, of course, before it could have any kind of effect. But it did have an effect opposite from what they wanted, because many saw this, and many then realized that the answers that are coming from the governments was not real. It could not be, you see. They are realizing it for what it is. Okay?
Mm-hmm. And can I ask you another question about it?
Make it very fast in case there is another here that is wanting to ask a question, but yes.
Okay. So as this is going on, and now we know that the cabal would like to disarm the people with their plans and intentions to be able to take over and control even more with martial law. But could it be that this is going to be turned around? I mean, because innately for people of the light, disarmament is a goal. We don't want people to be wanting to use guns or have guns. So could this be turned around, this disarmament movement, for the forces of the light? And are the young people involved in that now?
What we can tell you is the forces of light are behind all of this. They are what is working behind the scenes to bring all of this down, all of this old regime, old paradigm, to bring it down around the knees of the cabal. And they are doing everything that they can to bring this about, even to the point of sacrificing their lives. Many of their lives are being sacrificed here for the greater good, and preparing all of those that come after them, those of you that will come next, those of you that are not sacrificing your lives, but you are preparing for your missions to then be able to go out among the public, such as the disciples then went out among the public. This is a hint here that is being given for you then to go out and share and spread the word, spread the light. This is what you are all preparing for. If this is not what you want, then this group is not for you, because this is what this group is being prepared for, and much, much more yet. The idea of ancient awakenings, which was spoken of by the one Peter last week as we find it, where this is the awakening of the ancient memories within you. This is why this group was given this name, why James was given this name to use, to awaken the ancient memories within you. And as these ancient memories awaken within you, then you are then in power, given the power to move on and share all that you know as the needs come up for this. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Any other questions here before we release panel?
I have another question. It's Anthony, if that's okay.
Yes, one more, and then we are going to need to release here.
Okay, thank you. About 18 to 20 months ago, I was lying in bed late at night on about day 10 of having a really bad flu. And all of a sudden I started to feel really amazing, like I was in the purest form of ecstasy. It was very natural and very pure energy I was feeling for about 1 to 1.5 hours. And I figured it was some kind of cosmic download. At the time, I didn't know about the upcoming solar flash. And more recently, I've had an intuition that what I'd actually experienced may be what the flash would be like in advance. So I'd like to know what it was from your perspective, and I wanted to share this with the group to let them know that if this is what the flash is going to be like, it's really amazing and you're in for a real treat.
This was a precursor for you and others that have experienced this type of thing as well, where you have a sense of bliss come over you that is at times undescribable, and it just comes over you and you feel it and you find yourself moving into the bliss itself. This is a precursor of what is coming in that flash, as you are saying here, in the galactic central pulse, as the event or the changeover or whatever we want to call it. There are many different names for the same thing. But this is a showing to you and to others that have had this that it is simply a portion, and I say now a portion of what it will be like. You have no idea yet what it will be fully like.
Wow.
It is beyond your wildest imagination. And we know you have many of you have great imaginations, but you have no idea yet how great it's going to be. Okay?
Wow.
Thank you very much.
We are needing to release channel now. What we can tell you is that much is in the process of change, as you hear many times, and you are moving through this transition, and this transition is taking you by the day, by the week, by the month, through these many changes that are happening now and are coming, both within you and outside of yourself. And all is a process of a whirling dervish or a whirling hurricane all around you, as was said earlier. And you are the one that is in the eye of this hurricane. That is where you want to remain throughout all of this. And when we say to you that you need to keep your seat belts fastened because everything is going to get rocky and that type of thing, we are not kidding here. There is going to be some rockiness ahead here. There is going to be a sense of Kansas going bye-bye at times. But it will be a wonderful time if you look at it in that respect. You see the beauty in it rather than the ugliness. That goes for all at all times. Always, and in all ways, when you look around and look at your world around you, if you see the ugliness, then that is what is going to be for you. But if you see through the ugliness and you see the beauty that is there, then that is what your world is going to be like. Shanti, peace be with you. Be the one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.